The laws are meant to protect the victims, right? It's not the perpetrators. Maybe that's when you lost your North Star. When you started using the laws to help people hurt people. You know, it's not just the perpetrators. You cause collateral damage, Judge.
If a lot of people love each other, the world would be a better place to live.
In a world of generic Hollywood slop designed to be left-wing propaganda, it's nice to see that we now get some variety with some fresh slop designed to be right-wing propaganda. Which of course brings us to Citizen Vigilante, which is a film that can only be described as an incoherent disaster that completely butchers any semblance of a story, in favor of delivering political rants that, even if you agree with them, they completely nuke any shreds of a story that this piece of shit has to offer. Citizen Vigilante is an hour-and-a-half soapbox that gets so distracted by its message it completely forgets to be an actual movie. Despite this, an important message does lie at the core of this hunk of shit that does deserve to be told in a movie, just not this one. Even though I'm going to rip this film apart for being an overall shit film, I'm going to say from the offset that I agree with the fundamental message of the dangers of mass immigration, and think that countries banning this movie is wrong no matter what half-hearted excuse that they spout off. The thing is, the point of this video and this channel is to review movies, not have political discussions. If you want to hear someone talk about the core message of Citizen Vigilante, go right ahead, but I'm here to review the actual film. As well, a movie. So with that out of the way, let's dive into this fucking horrific shitfest of a film. Now, I would like to talk about the plot of this movie like I usually do for reviews, but the problem is that there is no plot to this movie. The entire film is just loosely connected scenes strung throughout an hour-and-a-half slideshow reel. Citizen Vigilante doesn't tell an actual story, more so it just plops its main character into random scenarios to ramble about immigration, before moving on to the next random-ass scene. There is no structure or order or really anything you could call a plot in the traditional sense. The entire movie is just watching people be killed in scenes designed to be dramatic, but they end up being some of the funniest shit in the entire movie.
Fire!
Then kind of between that is a bunch of preachy bullshit that goes on forever and amounts to absolutely nothing. There's so little actual story in this flaming hunk of shit that I'm going to go through every scene and individually explain why they're bad, because every scene has so many fucking problems that providing a general synopsis of this entire movie would be a disservice to anyone who might actually pay money to see this piece of shit. So let's do this shit rapid fire so I never have to talk about this fucking movie again. So this movie opens up with a pretentious quote that doesn't even have a source as to who said it, which perfectly symbolizes the train wreck we're about to watch. So mom is at the store with her child buying something. It doesn't really matter because this scene does give us one of the few redeeming features of this movie. And it's that this film actually looks great. Mostly. It doesn't change the fact that everything else in this movie is god-awful, but at least it doesn't look like a fucking snuff tape. Of course, the movie recognizes that it did something halfway right, and so immediately ruins it by having this take place.
Can I now eat chocolates?
Ja, och later.
Okay. Mom! 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 Please! Please! Mom! Mom!
I guess this scene was supposed to be dramatic or sad, but the combination of the goofy-ass blood squirt and the bizarre editing unintentionally made me burst out laughing when I first saw it. Now, you might assume that this scene will serve as a catalyst for the story, or be in some way connected to any other scene of the movie, and to that you'd be wrong. This scene is completely disconnected from the rest of the movie and serves no purpose other than trying to push the message of the movie. The people behind this movie are clearly trying to copy Falling Down, but seem to not understand that the counters in that movie actually, serve a broader point and serve a bigger plot. They all interact and affect each other to build a broader narrative that, unlike this film, has actual characters, but I'll get into that problem later, believe me. So after some credits designed to give you a seizure and show off the editor's Windows Movie Maker skills, we cut to a news station explaining this movie's message.
The nation is gripped by fear as a wave of shock sweeps the country. A mother was murdered in broad daylight in front of her child by another suspected undocumented migrant. Parents were afraid to let their children play outside, and many women avoid venturing out after dark altogether.
Don't worry, because if you enjoy that fucking clip, it just randomly shows up throughout the movie and all just rambling off the same shit over and over again. But anyways, then we get introduced to our main guy, who I'm just gonna call main guy because we never learn his actual name. In fact, we learn absolutely nothing about him other than he has daddy issues or something. And just like everyone else in this movie, it is immediately dropped and never mentioned again. We get graced by whatever the hell this is. Some more shots of people walking and driving later. Now the main guy, I guess, just shoots a bunch of people, I guess. No clue who these are. Nothing in this movie really is ever explained at all. You're just gonna have to roll with it. The scene on its own is completely incoherent and makes absolutely no sense, and it's literally just an excuse to soapbox about immigration, and that's it. But why would I expect this movie to make sense? It has no fucking structure or plot or fucking anything. But on to the next scene. So we're subject to some more fucking awful editing, and quite possibly the worst acting takes place.
Is greatness, okay? We need more guys like this in Canada, okay? We need them. I love him. Is that weird?
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Some politician rambles on about some bullshit that doesn't matter. We cut to some military vehicles driving around, which also appear throughout the movie randomly because I guess we don't have enough fucking random things in this movie, and are purely there just to eat up screen time and probably will to live. The movie then cuts to the main guy in a bus where a group of assholes decide to try and ride the bus without paying, and for some reason he pays for their tickets. Main guy decides to sit next to them and ramble on about how crime raises costs for ordinary people. None of them learn any fucking lesson, they just leave the bus. What was the point of that scene? Nothing, just like every other fucking scene in this movie. So main guy, he's off walking to a hospital, he talks to some girl about what she wants to happen to the people who raped her. Oh yeah, that just happens in the movie, I guess. None of this is ever fucking set up or given any explanation, they just drop the shit in the movie like we're supposed to know what the hell is going on. But of course, why explain that when this movie is nothing more than an hour and a half Twitter post, so fuck it. They cut from this and spend 2 minutes I'll never get back showing the main character taking pictures of Wall, which is truly the most riveting thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Now, if this all sounds incredibly incoherent and vague, that's just because this fucking movie is incoherent and vague. This scene and every other scene in this movie has absolutely nothing to do with anything other than repeating the same argument over and over again. There's nothing going on in this movie other than the message of the film that mass immigration is bad. All told to you over and over again like you're too fucking stupid to understand it. But outside of that, we're then greeted to those military vehicles from earlier, and they showed them driving around for 4 fucking minutes. 4 solid minutes, they are just fucking driving around, and you have to watch every goddamn second of it. Every single fucking inch of these vehicles is shown for no other reason than to just waste your fucking time.
Because they were never meant to give you justice. No, they only exist to control you. See, but I'm here to help you take that control back.
So after that thrilling fucking adventure, main guy is now, I guess, at a brothel, and you think he might be here to fight some pimps or something. I mean, he's a vigilante, and the whole point of this movie is seeing him fight against people. But you would be wrong, because you clearly haven't sunk into the mind of this pile of shit movie. No, what we really need is a 5-minute fucking sex scene that is just thrown into the movie for no reason, and as per usual, it has no fucking bearing on the movie and doesn't connect to fucking anything. Though something weird does pop up when the main guy just randomly starts spouting off about, I guess, moss or something. He just points to the ceiling and just starts fucking yapping about that.
It's mold. When you let clients shower in the bathroom after you're done, do you open the window?
No.
Why? If you let them shower and it gets hot, the steam builds up. And you get mold in the room.
But why you care?
Because I own the building.
You own the building? Wow. Really?
What, do you think your pimps own the building?
I don't know. So I should not took your money?
Of course, you did your job.
But banging isn't the only thing this main guy can do, because he's now just at a bar for some fucking reason, and he sees that 2 guys are trying to drug some girls and tampering with their shots. This doesn't go unnoticed by our main guy though, and he decides to use his immense skills to solve this incredibly difficult situation. This man is a fucking genius. True next level IQ. Fucking incredible. Fuck this movie. But oh no, unfortunately for our main guy, he happened to lead the police right to him, and since they aren't in the mood for just letting him murder a bunch of people and carry out vigilante justice, they decide to raid his compound. Unfortunately, the main problem is that the police take fucking ages just to get up the stairs because apparently the main guy lives in Dracula's castle or something, which the movie decides to show off in painful fashion, which I'm now forcing you to endure. On the bright side for our main guy, the police just happen to be stopped by some of the most retarded people on Earth because they walk into the room in which main guy has locked himself to some, I don't know, fucking giant metal cube or something. And main guy just is there. He has a bunch of fucking mountain guns that can't move anywhere outside of basically facing straight. So, what do the SWAT team, the elite cops, when facing down this truly impassable barrier, what do they do? Well, of course, they just stand there and get shot and die.
You're a goddamn genius. That's the most outstanding answer I've ever heard. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160.
I'm not kidding. Even when the fucking cops get back up, none of the SWAT officers do fucking anything, including using the fucking shields that they're carrying. Because everyone in this movie is fucking retarded. They just stand there and do absolutely nothing. And they just get shot and killed, and they do absolutely nothing about it. He's just fucking standing there, doing absolutely nothing. You could shoot the guy, you could fucking duck, and he couldn't be able to hit you. You could fucking move 2 steps to the right, but no, that's too hard. But also, what the fuck is going on with the music in this scene? They show off a bunch of dead and bloody SWAT officers just lying on the floor. Why is this in the movie? I got no fucking clue, but what the hell is going on with this music? So now, because of the dumb as fuck police, main guy gets to escape, and we get some more random scenes of shit that we've already seen before. Nothing important happens in them as per usual until we get to this absolutely genius scene.
Judge Reinhold.
Who are you?
Here from the Chief Inspector's office. We have new information that's come to light. That they didn't know how to fit into society. But what you don't understand is the society that you think they don't fit into is falling apart and dying.
And in the most shocking twist of movie history, this entire scene is nothing more than political ramblings ripped off of a Twitter thread as the main guy just rambles to a guy he just kidnapped about crime and immigration. I know you're shocked that this movie, which is only designed to spout off a bunch of political bullshit, has an entire 8-minute scene of just spouting off political bullshit, and it is just as painful as you could fucking imagine. It is so goddamn boring. And the director knows that, so he just throws in this fucking random scene where our main guy just murders a random guy. He just murders him, he just runs into his lane and just fucking kills him. No reason. He gives an absolutely incredible reaction, though.
They will obey the law, even if their own lives are in danger. Here, I'll show you. What happened? That car, when we went into their lane, instead of just crossing the line and breaking the law and going into our lane, they went into a ditch and most likely died.
So blah blah blah, he's fucking yapping about some bullshit. He drives to the side of the road, it slits the politician guy's wrist and makes it look like a suicide, but the problem is he doesn't leave the knife or really anything that he could have cut himself with, so that's just gonna make investigators immediately suspicious. This is a question, though, meant for a smarter movie, and this movie has clearly proven that it is neither smart, nor mid-witted, nor anything approaching any form of intelligence. It is completely fucking retarded. So after that boring mess, we finally get to a scene that is somewhat connected to another part of the movie, in which the main guy tracks down the home of one of the rapists of the girl from earlier in the hospital, and holds the family at gunpoint, in which this happens.
You wrote that she deserved it.
I will delete it.
Are these the values you're teaching your children?
I teach him the values from Quran and these values from our family.
Well, if these are your values, that women in America and Europe deserve to be raped because of a dress code, why did you come here?
You know that we have several war in our country and we have a dangerous life. That's why we are here. And I think you know that.
Do you know what I think?
Why?
I don't think it was the good ones that got out of your country. I think it was the bad ones.
Now, would it surprise you if I told you this part is being hailed as the best part of the movie? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. This scene is fucking awful. This scene is so unbelievably on the nose about its message of Islam being bad that it makes Darman look like a fucking pinnacle of subtlety, as every point in this interaction is shown in the most stereotypical way possible. No one in the Muslim family ever brings up any good counter to the main guy's rambling, even though he wants to kill them for their beliefs, because this movie is about as complex as a fucking two-piece puzzle. They all just fucking sit there and do absolutely nothing. He just rambles on some bullshit and just fucking kills them. And some more people die, even more people die. People are just getting killed everywhere. We get some long-ass shot of the family being carried in body bags. I don't know why that needed to take up like 30 seconds of the movie. I guess we need to extend the runtime even more. We need to really stress the fact that you wasted your fucking money on this. Main guy ends up just rambling off with some bullshit, and thank God the fucking movie's over. Holy shit, what the fuck did I just watch? This movie is unironically one of the worst fucking movies I have ever had the displeasure of seeing. This shit barely even qualifies as a movie because of how little actual story there is. The entire 90 minutes of wasted screen time that calls itself Citizen Vigilante is nothing but a bunch of incoherent soapbox ramblings to be turned into a 30-second edit on TikTok. This movie wants to be falling down so fucking badly, but it just doesn't understand what made that movie good. So it just thinks that all you need is just to have a bunch of characters spout off your message, and you can call it a movie. Falling Down had more than that, and that's what made it special. Because, first of all, it had actual characters with personalities that contributed to their worldviews and made them more complex than the fucking cardboard cutouts in this movie. Plus, that movie didn't serve as a never-ending rant about whatever the creator thought about the issue, because it had an actual story centered around the battle between the two main characters. Their worldviews actually clash, and they, what do you know, had more complexity to them. Audiences weren't treated as a fucking idiot and told what to believe. They could actually come to the conclusion themselves. People had various opinions on that movie, and that was fine. But this movie isn't that. It's just a fucking political message shoved into a 90-minute fucking airspace that you have to pay money for. It is so fucking shit. Even the movie's shitty stand-in for the cop from Falling Down barely even has any conflict with the main guy. He just gets called on the phone after the main guy literally burned his face off and rambles some more political bullshit at him, which the cop has basically no response to.
My officers and I, we swore to an unbreakable pledge to protect and serve. And you now have crossed the line too many times. You're hurting innocent people, including myself. This is unacceptable. I have no choice but to bring you in. And I will.
These people you speak of, they never voted for what's happening. This is an unfriendly takeover by the Islamist extremists and the blind-sided woke left. And if this takeover is successful, it'll destroy the democracy you say you love. All the freedom, everything you enjoy and stand for.
There are no actual characters in this movie, just mouthpieces to give political lectures with all the nuance of a gigantic flashing billboard. There's no character arcs, no growth, no story, no nothing. It's all just nothing. The story is the outline of a far better movie filled with nothing. The characters are walking cardboard cutouts with nothing deeper. The very scenes of this movie all contribute to, you guessed it, nothing. Nothing is the perfect way to describe this movie because that's all it is. Nothing. Citizen Vigilante is 90 minutes of paint drying while the director spouts off his political opinions that ultimately contribute to nothing. This movie is a fucking train wreck not because it makes decisions that turn the movie into a horrible piece of garbage, but it lays absolutely no track for the train and causes the movie to derail from the first fucking second. Citizen Vigilante is void of anything worth giving time towards, and the fact that this movie cost any money to watch is one of the biggest fucking insults that could possibly be given. Don't give your time or money to this black hole of dog shit. It doesn't deserve any attention beyond this fucking review. In fact, it doesn't even fucking deserve that. This movie should be cast in the fucking pits of hell where it belongs. Fuck this movie. I'm done talking about this crap. That's the video. Bye.